Hi, and welcome to MAR Talks. I'm Carrie Cavers, founder of Moms Against Racism Canada, and this month, in honor of International Women's Day, Women's History Month, and the International Day of the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, we're taking a look at revolutionary mothering. With this interview series, I feel very lucky and inspired as I get the opportunity to talk with people who embody revolutionary mothering. But before we get started chatting with our guest today, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the Algonquin speaking peoples, the Songhees, Esquimalt, and Wasanic First Nations, on whose unceded ancestral lands I'm living as an uninvited guest and where I'm zooming to you from. I am grateful to the Indigenous peoples of Turtle Island who have stewarded this land, who have been mothering this land time immemorial despite the destruction and degradation caused by its colonizers and settlers. And through Moms Against Racism, we're working to educate moms and those in mothering roles in anti-racism, cultural competence, and decolonization so they have the tools to dismantle racism in themselves, their families, and their communities. And today I have the privilege of chatting with Adora Nwofor, a community builder extraordinaire. So Adora is an award-winning comedian, actor, prolific host, tireless anti-racism advocate, fierce feminist, and model. She is the real deal. Named one of Calgary's top 10 best dressed by Avenue magazine. She's worked with Shaw Television Canada, the cultural media magnate Omni Television, and is the creator and host of the web series Living a Creative Life, now in its second season. At over 6 feet, Adora has a strut like no other. Adora is keynoted at TEDx YYC, hosted Canada Day 150 and Alberta Culture Days, and has emceed and advocated at comedy, culture, and anti-racism events across the province. A trusted and outspoken voice in the community, Adora has been on the board of directors for the Nigerian Association and Femme, Calgary's Feminist Music and Arts Festival, and has worked with Afrikadey Festival, Cariwest, Calgary's Nigerian Canadian Association, Young Women in Power, and many more. She is a co-founder and has been Grand Marshal for the YYC Women's March since its inception in 2016. And I mean, the list goes on. When she isn't busy doing one-to-one mentorship in the community and online, Adora is a successful entrepreneur and mother of 3. Oh my God. As president and co-founder of Black Lives Matter YYC, Adora is a major contributor to the local embodiment of a global movement that is nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. Hi, Adora. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today.
Thank you for having me, Carrie. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for dealing with my nonsense, because sometimes I forget to send the email. What a warm and incredible introduction. I want to thank my friend, Ashley, for writing that incredible bio, because I was like, oh, wow. And I'm in Mohkinstsis, that is Treaty 7 territory, and the Métis Region 3, which is inhabited by the Blackfoot people. And I'm going to be honest, the list is not solidified in my brain, and I have been working on it. It's the Siksika, the Kainai, the Piikani, the Tsuut'ina Nation, and I know that there is more than I am missing, and I am so sorry, but I am definitely so thankful to be also an uninvited guest, because I have a peekaboo view of the mountains from here. And yeah, I can't wait for us to dive in. I'm just so excited.
Oh, thank you so much. So for our series, with each of the interviews that we have, we're asking our guests the same 3 questions. So no surprise questions, but our first question is, what does revolutionary mothering mean to you?
Oh, I guess revolutionary mothering means to me, being a nurturer, being someone who can teach and be taught, someone who is willing to hold space when very often many people are not, and not just holding space when you are popular, but holding space because space needs to be held, because we need to grow, because things need to change. Revolutionary mothering to me means that we're going to evolve first. And some of the evolution is not going to be kind. Some of it's going to be uncomfortable. Some of it is going to really test our boundaries. And also, get your boundaries together. So revolutionary mothering means to me, giving to yourself what you didn't get from, your parents, or nurturing, or your community, your society. I think that one is key, because no human can be everything to everyone. So there will always be, some spaces in development. So even the best mothers miss it, because number one, they can't be there all the time. Number two, like, they're human. And number three, you should be growing. You should have some discomfort. It should not only be perfect. So, revolutionary mothering to me means love, care, and for that person in their existence, not because of what they do or what they say or how they are doing it. MLK Jr., they love to use that quote, like, by the contents of their character. And yeah, that's great. But babies don't show up with character. Babies don't show up with, right or wrong. That is something that is nurtured into them. And, sometimes our communities are really crappy at giving us those things. So if we can give it to ourselves, revolutionary.
100%. And I think it's interesting. So far, you're, I think, our only guest who's touched on that, like, self-mothering part. Like, there's definitely, we can see it when we're talking about, like, with our kids, of course, and with communities by extension, kind of easy to make that connection, but that it is so revolutionary to do that, the work on ourselves and the self-healing.
Yeah, and I say it because if I'm gonna be honest, the plan was no baby. The plan was not, like, 0 kids. And my kids know that. And to be honest, I found out that I've been trying to get a hysterectomy forever, for always. And all my kids are birth control babies. And I found out about the twins at the abortion clinic. Oh, that is the revolutionary mothering. That was not, many women, many people who want to be parents, people who have uteruses. Our society says you should want to be a mother, you should want to parent, and it should look like this. It has never for me. And if I'm going to be quite honest, my name is an Igbo name. I'm an Igbo person. I'm a Nigerian, Jamaican, and Canadian, all three and nothing less. But my tribe is the Igbo tribe. So I'm indigenous to Biafra in Nigeria. What a long list. Anyways, my Igbo name is Adora. I use it every day. Revolutionary. Very often, you are not allowed to do that. And I'm born here and I do that. So yeah, my Igbo name is Adora, and Ada is for the first daughter. And Ora is like your community, like everybody. So my literal name is everybody's daughter. And Ada's in our community, the first daughter. If we don't like something that's going on, we come together and we veto it. We change it. We say, no, that's not how it's going to be. So it is in my DNA. It is in my title. It's not something I chose. I fell into this. But I think that very often we forget that women are not only mothers, they are people too, which means we can't get everything all the time. And I have a lot of narcissists in my life, so I did have to do a lot of my own mothering, which doesn't, like, I don't want to tell people that they should, like, you want to be resilient. I think that's trash. Like, I don't want anybody to be any more resilient. But that's how I got here, is that I knew that I needed to heal myself, and that if I wanted to be a great parent to other people, I need to first do it to myself. And if I want to do that in my community at any level, I need to make sure that I am doing all of the healing work that I need, so I can be like, hey, sucky, that's crap. Let's work on that.
Very much. Ooh, I got a bit of feedback there. You're definitely living up to your name. Definitely. With all of the wonderful things that you're doing. And that, like, it brings me to the next question of what ways do you practice revolutionary mothering? And I think you touched on it a little bit, but would love for yourself, but would love to hear how that translates out to your family and to the work that you do in the many organizations that you're involved with.
Yeah, I'd say the first thing that I do right off the bat is the way that I show up in the world. So I am 6 feet tall, and I'm a Black woman, and I'm fat, and I'm proud of it, and I dress it up as beautiful as I feel like, and it does not matter to me if anybody else likes it, because it looked good.
Revolutionary,
because this is a political statement. People, believe that if you're dark, or if you're fat, or if you're tall, or if you masculine, whatever it may be, you should not be proud of that. And yes, I'm going to be, because why not? Because I exist, and because all the other people who exist are beautiful, and I know that people think that I'm beautiful, and I think other people are beautiful, and that isn't that beautiful? Isn't that the whole reason? And they don't have to look like whatever's in the magazine, which doesn't mean the magazine ain't good. It means that there's more beyond the magazine. The magazine only has 50 pages or 100 pages, and we have 7 billion people. So also that mindset, I put that everywhere. So I started out as a makeup artist who puts makeup on everybody. If you want to wear makeup, let's do it. Like dark skinned South Sudanese women here wanted to get their makeup done, and there was no makeup. So I was like, let's jimmy it up and get some makeup for folks. And because everybody is beautiful, why can't I do that? Why can't the world do that? And then just, I say this thing, hashtag Adora ruined it again. Because, I want to bring centering Blackness and loving Black people and loving who I am to everything. So very often in organizations, I'll be like, no, but why? But why are we doing that? Why is that happening? Why? So it's interesting that we're having this conversation, because last year we were doing Women's March, and we decided to try something new, taking strides, which was, a networking event inside the library, a little less specifically political, but political people, please come on down. People who have an opinion, please come on down. And somebody suggested, we had many caucuses. So there was a Black caucus, and an Indigenous caucus, with the disabled caucus, LGBTQ. So if you are a trans, so if you feel like you're not being heard and you wanted to lead a caucus, we said, please, let's do this. And somebody suggested that we have a mother caucus. And I was like, for what? Why? Why we do? What was every day we're moms and they talk about mothering all the time. So and then I said, you know what? Like if you truly want that, great. But I'm asking the question, we're talking about women. Being a woman doesn't always equate being a mother. It doesn't equate caring about being a mother or doing any of that stuff or even having a uterus. So do we have to? We didn't. So, like this picture right here, like I try and bring Blackness wherever I can. I try and shut down the patriarchy as much as I can. I've never been married. I've never been engaged. I've never lived with a man. But I got knocked up a couple times. Like I think hashtag never too many orgasms. I say that in my comedy. I talk about my vagina and that's my business because why can't we? Why aren't we talking about sex for women, for people who have vaginas and clitorises and they're never being paid attention to? Yes, let's have that conversation because we are having sex and we should enjoy ourselves and we deserve orgasms. My kids are free kids. I have free babies. Let me tell you, it's not easy. Not easy at all. So, to begin with, I had a child out of wedlock when I was young. He is biracial. This is too much information, but I was like, you ain't cutting my baby. Nope, 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 nope. My parents made sure that I did not have to go through circumcision, and some of their decisions I'm not happy with. So I decided for any child that I have who has phallic genitalia, as gently as I can say it, because people think that I'm only vulgar. No, this is not comedy. I could be if you want. Anyways, I was adamant, no, 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 and thankfully, my co-parents was not fighting. They knew they weren't gonna. They weren't up for that fight anyways. But yeah, that I feel like that's important. My adult child comes and has conversation with me about dating. Mm-hmm. That one's hard. That one is hard sometimes. But I tell him, listen, you're doing patriarchy right now. I got hit by a car and we had a fight and he went to go live with his father and I didn't fight it. And I wanted my baby with me. And I cried every day. But we're back in love. So yeah, that's revolution. I have twin girls. They wear whatever they want. And if somebody wants to tell them no, they can't, I'm fighting them. Because do not hypersexualize them. They are already the size of women. They're 13, they're 5'7", they're bigger than most men. So they're 5'7" and 5'8". They're bigger than my dad. Sorry, my dad is 5'8". So they are the same size as my father. And no, you can't tell them that they can't wear whatever they want. Now, as a mother who knows that the world is trash, I am concerned for how people will treat them. I am not concerned for them. And I let my children do what it is they like. And I know a whole bunch of people did this, like, but because I have done so, and because I lead them with, hey, I'm kind of different, and people will not always understand it. They they will sometimes do the wrong thing and we work on it, but in general, I'm this thing. So like my adult child does not do any, goes to work, pays his bills, and is not busy being only a trash man, but he's a man, so sometimes um, it's the truth. And then my daughters are, they're Leos. So there's a lot of energy here. But it's not for me to push that down. It's not for me to make myself comfortable only. It is for us to work around ourselves. And, I just want to create spaces where people feel like they can be free. That's really my job. Um, when I host events, when I'm talking to people, when I'm trying to create events, I want people to truly feel like I'm not going to censor them. And whatever it is you want to do, let's do it. You don't have to tell me what we're going to do. And if something happens, then we deal with it. I think our society is very happy to throw away people who make a mistake. And when I say that, I don't mean um, let racism just reign. I mean, when you make a mistake, whatever type of mistake it is, I will come and tell. Please come and tell, because I want to grow and I want people to grow. And I know that not everybody is down for that, but unlearning is a gift. Anti-racism is a gift. It's the glow up you need.
First, I apologize for my daughter coming in
bombing
in the interview.
No. We're doing
it's all part of it, right?
Here.
Yeah, it's all part.
Mommy for 3 seconds. She got it.
Little mommy moment.
No, I refuse to accept your apology.
Okay, well, thank you very much. But I think like what you're saying about holding, if I can summarize, but like holding space and bringing those subjects or content that has been traditionally seen as taboo and not talked about, is having, like, pulling out those conversations and giving opportunities for those conversations and having those brave, uncomfortable conversations with all of the people around you. And then that is a way to always be revolutionary mothering, that it doesn't have to be just one event. Like, it's how you live your life.
How I live my life. For, like, to be quite frank, I do a show called Go Battles. It is like the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. Somebody called it soft porn. I was like, so it's going to the beach, I guess. If that's how you want to think about it. But to be honest, I accepted that opportunity because I wanted to move my body on a regular basis, because I wasn't really getting that. And then I was like, I get to dress up and be in a group of diverse, inclusive folks, for the most part, and do something that old women usually aren't doing. Like, I literally lifted somebody up over my head, put them on my shoulders, like turned around and dumped them on the ground, because like, we should do whatever it is we feel like gives us life if it's not harming people. So, I just want to grow myself. So I also go into these uncomfortable spaces. I do a show called I don't think they're doing it. Well, they're not doing it now, but it was called Naked Girls Reading. And I would bring my fat body on stage and be naked and read literature. In the last time I did it was the biggest that my no, I'm lying. When I hosted the event, I was the first naked host. And my body was the fattest that had been outside of pregnancy, and it was push yourself. But the amount of people who came back from that one show to tell me that it changed their whole perception on their bodies, on how they interact with the world, on being a voice for trans folks, and now coming back and doing that same event, and having their racism journey. I think that was 2018, and they, I mean, there are now white women who are like, no, we're not doing racism today, because somebody saw me naked. And I know that a lot of people won't understand that, they won't get it, but that's what I'm here to do. And whatever it is that you're here to do with your revolutionary mothering, I'm down. Like, let's do it.
Let's do it. Love it. Okay, so I'm mindful of the time. I think we could probably talk all afternoon, but I do know that you have other things to attend to. So I will ask you our last question, which I think, again, you've woven through everything that you've been saying, but what advice do you have for those wanting to be allies and dismantlers of racism?
Yeah, I think that revolutionary mothering means incorporating anti-racism into your life. And that's a practice. It is at every moment. It is something I must practice. So very often I'm in a room full of people and everybody wants to say, hey guys, and sometimes there's guys in the room, great, but everybody isn't guys. And the patriarchy, burn it down. So I have to go in and be like, hey, can we use gender neutral language? Causes a fight sometimes. And anybody who really knows me knows that I will, I will, but I don't want to. And I truly think that, anti-racism needs to be a practice. It needs to be an everyday. Like, we're going to forget, because the society that we're in perpetuates oppression at every moment, because it benefits a hierarchy that creates economic freedom for the few. But I truly think that if you want to be an ally, know that you need to be an accomplice, and somebody tells you you are an ally. Somebody tells you that you are being an accomplice. And if you are not going down even more uncomfortable than those of us who are experiencing oppression, then you're not being an ally. So if you're ever questioning why a Black person is doing something that isn't harmful, like, stop it. Stop it. If you are questioning Black folks doing self-defense, stop it. If you are not creating space, opportunity, and support, long-term support, you ain't doing nothing. Not one thing. I keep hearing, we have a first. It's 2021. There's no more first. There's no more first. The earth has been here 2,000 years. What's happening is that you're removing barriers. Yes. Keep removing barriers, but don't pat yourself on the back because there's one racialized person, oppressed person, marginalized person, because not everybody wants to be successful and be considered oppressed. But if we can get one, we can get 101 the first time. So to make sure that happens, we don't only need to create the space, the opportunity, but we need to have support and continued support, because racism and oppression are rampant. They're everywhere. They are places that we don't even think or feel or hear. So we have to, at every moment, be doing the practice of supporting centering Blackness. That is my favorite thing to do. And when you center Blackness, when you make sure that anti-Blackness is no place, everybody becomes empowered. Everybody has access to living their whole lives. And there's no right way to do that either. So, I do that in comedy and public speaking and wearing fabulous dresses, and being a reluctant, crappy parent. But there's so many ways to do that. You can do that in the economy. You can do that in gardening. You can do that in dance. You can do that everywhere, because Black should be everywhere. Indigenous people should be everywhere. People of color should be everywhere. Disabled people should be everywhere. LGBTQ two-spirit plus people should be everywhere. Neurodiverse people should be everywhere. Old people, young people, fat people, skinny people should be everywhere, because they can do so because they exist and because they want to. So my advice is create the space and then make it welcoming and continue to support people even through their missteps, because nothing ever was accomplished without making any mistakes. Nothing, not one thing, not a baby walking, not going to the moon, nothing. So, I'm sorry, I'm going to add something. Let Black people lead. Let Black people be at the front leading. Let them be leaders. Every leader has made a mistake. Every white man has made a mistake, and we have them leading all of the time. Stop it. Let Black people lead. Let Indigenous people lead. Let women lead. Let marginalized genders lead. Listen to them and support them, even when they make a mistake. Now, if they continue to make mistakes, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 29 in the trash, move to the side. But if your leaders are growing, white men aren't growing. That's what I'm saying. Let Black people lead.
Love it. I mean, it can't do as bad as a job as we've done, right?
Like when I first started leading the Women's March, I was like, man, look at the world we have. It's great. But how much better could it be when we let some women lead? And we just let everybody who hasn't been lead. For sure, there's going to be some mistakes, but for sure, we're going to grow.
Fantastic advice. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. I feel like I've been taken all over the map. It's great. So for those of you who are watching, to find out more about Adora, you can follow her on Instagram at statuess, and it'll be in the comments below this video too, or head over to blacklivesmatteryYYC.ca. .com. blacklivesmatteryYYC.com.
I should check that. Watch me not know. I didn't create.
Okay, well, you know what? No worries. We'll make sure that the right one is in the link below.
We make mistakes
sometimes. We're gonna grow. Thank you so much for showing up in the world the way that you do, and just by being you, showing us what revolutionary mothering can be like, and the positive impacts that it can have. The world definitely needs the radical acts of love that you bring. So thank you.
Thank you for acknowledging that I am engaging, impactful, and funny, just as I am, and allowing me to have space with you and sharing my message, and for all the messages that you share, because this is a revolutionary act for yourself and your community, and we need all of them. Thank you so much.
All of them together. Thank you. I am sure we will talk again soon. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.